Hi, this is No Ordinary Voice of Spiritual Ventriloquism. You are listening to Dummy himself. It's really not the topic of this video, but it kind of fits right in. Elias the other day came to me and he asked me, well, actually it was this morning, and he says, what does the word phobia mean to you? And I said, fear, that's all, that's it. He said, you know what I'm talking about. He said, fear, what do you mean, fear? I said, hydrophobia, fear of water, canine phobia, or whatever you want to call it, fear of dogs, fear of this, fear of that. Folk need to get some deliverance from their phobias. But anyway, but he said, when it comes to the, alternative lifestyle movement, they're now basically redefining phobia to mean something else other than fear. Because, if it really come down to it, like the term homophobia, they want to redefine it, or are redefining that term, probably to try to fashion it into some let me give the disclaimer. They're trying to fashion this into some form of hate crime or something like that. But they want to redefine the English language. They want to redefine a word that has been used for centuries to mean something it doesn't. They want to try to use the word homophobia as meaning, a particular dislike or disdain for people who are homosexuals. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give a disclaimer. I promised I was going to give a disclaimer. I'm going to give a disclaimer. Honestly, I could really care less what people do. It's your life. You got to live it. You have your cults. You have your societies, your inner circles, and things like that. And that, that's fine. It's a free country. Have fun. You do whatever you want to do, as far as that goes. And the law of the land tells you can do it. So, out there, that's great, So I don't, take any particular dislike or feel like, certain people shouldn't live or something like that in this construct, in this society. I don't take that approach. So, what do you say? Live and let live, as they say. It's really none of my concern. That doesn't enter into my sphere of concerns. Okay. My concerns are more centered with the people of Elohim. Bobsledding. I could give a shit less about bobsledding. I don't care about how many people die bobsledding. I don't care how how much money people spend on bobsledding, snorting coke, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. That's all your business. It's not in my sphere of concern or influence. I'm not even thinking about it, but I do have to say this, that when you're going to begin to redefine the language that you speak to mean something other than it's not, and this is they want to redefine the term phobia, which means fear, to try to somehow translate that over to some type of disdain or hatred or something like that. There's nothing to do with that, and most people, who are quote unquote called homophobes or transphobes or whatever, campaigners against homosexuals, people who, get involved in relationships because they don't have any place to live, It's not, you can't take the English language and then decide you want to chop it up because of some type of an agenda, some type of a socio-political movement, and then change the language. I mean, that's ridiculous to try to do that. Now, I didn't want to get into this because, I did want to talk about patriarchy, patriarchal marriage, and things like that. And again, the law of the land allows homosexuals, transsexuals, all that to do their own thing, okay? That's the law of the land. But yet when it comes to the oldest lifestyle, and that's probably because it's male-dominated, and if you're a male, you're manipulated, you're manipulative, or if you have a penis, then, you're an armed offender or something, and automatically, things don't apply whenever a male wants to exercise his rights in his lifestyle. So anyway, but the amazing thing of it is that, we've even come to the point now where we're redefining, centuries, thousands of years old terms to make them fit within the paradigm of our society that we're living in now. And this is what this video is about. A classic textbook example. And in those who are interested in alternative living, patriarchy, polygyny, polygamy, I'm a monogamist. I'm going to give another disclaimer. I'm a monogamist. I have no plans to ever, get a second wife. I may kid around about it because it's a big topic within the sphere of influence that I am involved in, the people that I mingle with and things like that. It's a big topic. So yeah, I'm going to always add into the dough in the pot and throw my own 2 cents worth of baking soda or whatever, as long as it's not a piece of unleavened bread, into the mix. So at any rate, the main issue is this, and I'm going to talk about this one word, concubinage. Now, there has not been, in my opinion, a more abused term within the Hebrew roots sphere of Torah keepers and things like that than that term. People who keep the Torah, or people that express positive, live and let live, que sera, sera, definitions of, social, sexual lifestyles, for lack of a better phrase. But that word concubinage is, well, she's my concubine, or I want to get a concubine, or I wouldn't mind having 3 concubines. And okay, let's get this straight, Hebrews. Let's get this straight, Israelites. You can't take a construct from 4,000 years ago and just blatantly, or I say just plainly paste it into 2019 and say, yeah, this is it. This is the same thing that the alternative lifestyle movement is doing with the term phobia, okay? They want to redefine the definition of a long-held word and its meaning to fit within the parameters of their social, political, or economic movement. Well, the term concubine is thus, and it always has been thus, and has never been anything but thus. Okay? I hope I got your attention by now. Concubinage has always been, historically, from the outset, a social, sexual relationship that is born out of servitude. Slave girl. We'll just put it real plain right there. Slave girl. Okay? Concubine. Okay? Never went the other way. It just went that way. Master, servant. I know that's I know y'all, and this, we got a lot of bad karma. We got a lot of bad juju. We've got a lot of bad, ideas and how this is like an electric shock button when we mention those kinds of words because of the way in which people have been dealt with, particularly in this country in the past. Okay? And by the white man, too, I might add. Okay? So we'll just go ahead and put it there. Okay? So, but that doesn't make every white man guilty. All right? Come on, folks. Get real. I mean, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to stereotype you the way you would stereotype me. Okay? Now, what you need to do is you need to get delivered from your trauma and your offense and your past bad karma and bad juju and all this other stuff that you want to keep this damn dependency, accusation, cycle going, where you end up, you're stagnant, you're stuck in a rut, and nothing's ever going to change for you because you won't come out of your bitterness and your trauma from the past. So then you want to try to redefine everything. But anyway, we're going to go back to the subject matter at hand. I didn't mean to get off track like that. We're going to go back to the subject matter at hand. Concubinage is a relationship, a socio-sexual relationship that's always been born out of a servant-master relationship. Nothing else. And when Yah gave Moses commandments pertaining to thus and thus, he gave commandments pertaining to that exact relationship. There wasn't weekend warrior. There wasn't side chick. There wasn't half a wife, quarter wife, third wife. There wasn't, housing and fair trade exchange going on. It was nothing like that. Okay? It was a master-servant relationship. If there was, in fact, a woman who was in straits, because the scripture does say there shall not be a whore among the daughters of Israel, which is why this type of a situation was always put into play. Levirate relationships and things like that. So anyway, it's a master-servant relationship. But guess what? In 2019, especially in the good old US of A, slavery is against the law. You can't hold somebody hostage and extort them for goods and services because you are nice to them, or you loan them money, or they're in need and they're in a dependency cycle on society as a whole. There's no real government endorsed slavery. Well, you could extrapolate that to, the Mexicans planting the tobacco and, things like that. You could call that, in a sense, slavery, illegal labor, undocumented workers and things like that. Yeah, that's a form of slavery. But anyway, we're just going to stick to the definition at hand. If you're a married man and you decide that you're going to, get another woman. See, now that's the term you need to be using. You need to be using the term woman. You can use the term side chick, whatever. Does that relieve you from the responsibilities that you have towards that person, that you're having this relationship, this mutually agreed upon adult, relationship? I'm going to have to emphasize that. At any rate, no, I mean, you still are obligated to fulfill Torah in such and such a relationship, but that's not your concubine. And I understand that, times have changed. Man, because of the absence of any further of Yah's input, somehow the term concubinage has leapfrogged to way past beyond slavery or servanthood, or that type of a master-servant relationship. Now it's girlfriend, weekend warrior, whatever, recreational, the list can go on and on and on, where we can start, adapting and evolving what we define as concubinage. But that's not what the term and the word means. So you're going to have to use some other term, some other word to describe your relationship. Because the last time I checked, slavery in the U.S. is illegal. To even look at that type of relationship, to me, it smacks dab in the face of the freedom which we have in the Messiah, Jesus Christ. So, like I said, I'm not going to judge you. If you park your car in somebody else's garage, and, your wife knows where your Beamer is, then I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to judge you. Have fun. Live and let live. Have all the fun you want. Okay? Just as long as it ain't my wife, my daughter, and you ain't come talk to me about it first. You know what I'm saying? As far as my daughter. But no, you can't sit there and make up your own definitions to things. And the construct that existed in the days of Moses when Torah was written down is not the construct way over here, 8,000 miles away in Tennessee or New York or Texas or Alabama or anywhere else. It's not the same construct today. So you can't just universally apply Torah to a social relationship today, at least not by that definition. You can have as many women as you want, but you don't have concubines. You're not a king. You're not a god. I can tell you that. You're not a god, or at least not the one you think you are. And so therefore, you're just going to have to use another term. Anyway, I hope I cleared a few things up for you. If anything I've said is upsetting to you, then I say next time bring a life jacket and have a good day. Shabbat shalom.